So I recently posted about how the concept known as nutrient timing is largely a myth. And I'll give you two quick examples of nutrient timing, kind of the phrases that you often hear from people when you first start dieting or just working out or just trying to get in shape in general. So I think the two most pervasive ones that I've probably heard the most common are you can't have carbs at night, carbohydrates at night, and you have to make sure that you get protein right after your workout. So if you're trying to gain lean tissue, whether you're a man or a woman, or non-gender, if you are trying to gain lean tissue, a lot of times people will say, well, you got to get protein like immediately after. So a lot of times people will have like a protein shake or a protein bar, or they'll eat like a meal that's heavy on protein, grilled chicken or tilapia and rice or something right after a workout. And it took a few years because I heard this a lot when I first started working at a gym and I first started training. And then there was a bunch of studies that came out that basically refuted all this and debunked it more or less. So nutrient timing is largely a myth. You can, there's some arguments to be made that 20 to 30 grams of protein in each meal spread out over the course of the day might be slightly more advantageous than if you were to do intermittent fasting where you're having two big meals. So let's say you're trying to get 120 grams of protein a day and you're doing intermittent fasting and you're having two big meals. So you might do 60 grams of protein in each meal. So there's some studies that seem to indicate that 20 to 30 grams per meal might be optimal, but I think it's fairly minute, the differences if you look at a long enough timeline. So if you zoom out a little bit and look at it, your body tends to use the nutrients and the substrates the same way that it would if you were having two big meals a day, or if you're eating carbs at night, or if you're working out in the morning and getting most of your protein in the evening. Nutrient timing is largely a myth, and it's not something that you really need to worry about a whole lot when you're looking at your macronutrient ratio for the day. At the end of the day, calories in versus calories out, that's important. That's the biggest rung on the hierarchy for fat loss. After that, it's gonna be protein. So if you make sure you're getting an adequate amount of protein, like let's say you're getting 150 grams of protein per day, and you know how many calories you're having per day, if the carbs and fats fluctuate a little bit, then you're good. Your body is gonna use the protein that you give it, and you're gonna be all good. And if you have carbs at the end of the night and it fits your macronutrient profile and your ratio that you've set up, and you're not going over on calories, you can still lose weight and eat carbs at night. That's totally fine. I do it all the time. I tend to have quite a few carbs at the end of the night because I tend to get hungry at the end of the night. So I want to make sure I've got at least some food available, some options available at the end of the night. So just remember, nutrient timing, largely a myth, not really something you need to worry about. Find out what your calorie maintenance level is. If you're trying to, lose body fat, take a little bit off that amount, that maintenance level, and focus on your protein, focus on lifting, get a sustainable routine together, and eat when you want, your personal preference. Hope that helped. If you need additional information regarding nutrient timing and all that, hit me up. Bye.